So, let's dive into something that might sound, well, a little crazy. Teaching the core logic of coding to toddlers. And I'm not talking about screens or keyboards. Nope, this is all about pure hands-on play. Right off the bat, let's just ask the big question. Can a 3-year-old actually learn to code? And you know what? The answer is kinda yes, but probably not in the way you're imagining. It's got nothing to do with syntax. It's all about getting a feel for computational thinking, and it all begins with something incredibly simple. So, where do we even begin? Well, the whole thing is built on a game that, every kid and every parent knows, just sorting colorful blocks. It's something they can touch, something that makes sense to them, and it turns out to be the perfect starting point for some really big ideas. You see, with any big idea, you gotta have a simple rule to kick things off, a starting point. And for our toddlers, that rule couldn't be clearer. We sort by color. That one little instruction is what gets the whole engine running. And that one simple rule, it leads to a very clear set of actions. In the world of programming, we'd call this a procedure. Red blocks go here, blue blocks go over there, yellow blocks go in that basket. It's repetitive, right? It builds a pattern. And get this, without even realizing it, the child is following a simple algorithm. Okay, now this is where the magic really kicks in. We're about to see how this simple physical game translates directly into the kind of abstract ideas that are the absolute foundation of computer science. We're connecting the dots from playing on the floor to actually thinking like a programmer. So let's start with the first big idea, sorting. Think about it. When a toddler puts all the red blocks in one pile, they are performing a fundamental task in computing. And now we can give that action a name. Sorting is just putting similar things together. It's a perfect way to attach a formal concept to something they already intuitively understand. So what about those baskets, the ones filled with all the sorted blocks? Well, programming has a name for that too. It's called an array. An array is simply a group of items that belong together. So the red basket, that's the red array. The blue basket is the blue array. They've literally just built their very first data structures. How cool is that? And here you can really see that transformation. On one side, you've got total chaos, right? A jumbled mess of blocks. But on the other side, boom, order. 3 perfectly organized groups or arrays. The simple act of sorting took that unstructured data and turned it into something structured and useful. This exact leap is at the heart of so many tasks a computer does. Okay, so our little coder has mastered the actions, and they're starting to get the concepts. What's the next level? We add another layer of what we call abstraction. We're going to create a super simple language using symbols to represent the things they already know how to do. We start with this one, a left arrow. We show our little coder that this arrow is a command. It doesn't say red or blue, it just means move the block you're holding to the basket on the left. See that? It's an instruction based on position, not just color. That's a big step. And of course, if you have a left arrow, you've got to have a right arrow. This symbol means move to the right basket. We're slowly but surely building out a visual command language, a set of instructions that we can eventually put together to do more complex things. And then we add one more, the up arrow, which might mean stack the block. So now we have a tiny language with just 3 commands. And with these arrows, we can string together a sequence of instructions. Now hold on. A sequence of instructions using symbols? Doesn't that sound an awful lot like, well, any programming language ever? All right, so let's pull back and look at the big picture here. Why does this actually work so well? It's definitely not about turning toddlers into software engineers. It's about something much, much deeper, about how we learn. And really, it all comes down to this one single, incredibly important idea. Use soft, clear steps to avoid confusing toddlers. That's the whole philosophy. Real learning isn't about dumping a ton of information on someone. It's about creating a gentle, logical path from one idea to the next, because confusion is the enemy of learning, especially for a young mind. And that's really the heart of it all, isn't it? The path to understanding anything complex is always paved with simple, elegant steps. This goes way beyond coding. It's about learning how to think in algorithms, how to use abstraction. These are skills that matter in every single field. So the question isn't just, can a toddler learn to code? But maybe it's this. What complex problem in your life could be solved by just finding the simple blocks it's made of?